Howdy folks, BoDean 52, hope you are well. Today we're going to go out on the 2021 Road Glide Limited. It has a Harley Davidson Stage 2 on it. And we're going to talk about the reasons that you should not get it because you're not ready. America. So about 2 weeks ago, I did a video on the 5 reasons that you should do a Stage 2 to your motorcycle. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the other side of that, on why maybe you shouldn't do it and things you should consider, and then the one reason you should absolutely not do it. And I think it's important to see both sides. So let's start with reasons why you really should consider not getting a Stage 2 on your motorcycle. Number 1. Like any mechanical piece of equipment, a lot of times the more you screw with it, the more that goes bad. If you open up a motor like you will be on a Stage 2, not like a Stage 1, but on a Stage 2, you are opening up the potential of having immediate and future problems for your motorcycle. And you may never know when, or if that was the problem. I have a very good friend that has a Stage 3 on a Street Glide Special. Loves it. The things that tear, he's super happy that he did it. I have a buddy that had a Stage 4 done to his Ultra years ago, and it was a catastrophe. Ended up selling the bike. It was awful. So you hear stories, good and bad, about getting something done to your bike. You always usually just hear about the bad ones, but I'm sure there's plenty of Stage 2s on Harley Davidson motorcycles that everything is gone fine. So far on mine, I've had it about 2 months. I have about 1,000 miles on it, and it's been fantastic. But you are putting yourself at risk. And don't forget the warranty. Whether warranty matters to you or not, just make sure that you do that however you want that to be done. Number 2, it's expensive. It really is expensive. So I had a head pipe put on this bike, as well as the Screaming Eagle torque cam, and those were about $425 each. So let's say I was into both of those for $850. Then I went and put on, or the labor for that was roughly 5 or 6 hours at $100 an hour. So it was about, if I recall, $1,400. $1,400. That is a lot of money. And by the way, we're assuming at this point you already have a Stage 1 on it. You have some sort of new air intake. You put some mufflers on it or something. So you already got some bucks into it, but another $1,400 that you could use for a trip. You could use it to make other enhancements to the bike that may be better for you, or you could save that money towards a trip. I mean, tons and tons of things. So it's expensive. So if you get a Stage 2, something could go wrong with the motor, and you're going to spend $1,400 to do it. So you got to really consider those two things that got to be in the equation when you're trying to make a decision. Don't worry, I'm going to give you my recommendation at the end. But I want you and all of us to see the full picture. The third thing is, now, this is a 2021 Road Glide Limited, and it has a Milwaukee 114 in it. Did I really need more power? Did I need more horsepower and more torque? No, absolutely not. Anybody that says they do, they really don't. I've had this bike up in the mountains in Kentucky and Tennessee. I've rode it 2 up with bags on the back. Absolutely do not need it. Just don't. Is it nice? Yeah, it's nice. It's real nice. But do I need it? And do you need to really enhance the power on a Harley Davidson stock motorcycle? Usually not, because you probably bought it with the reason that it was good as it was, and you really didn't need an extra power or a bigger engine, because you would have bought a different bike probably, right? So those are the 3 things. Let me give you a 4th. Don't fall into the trap of all of the guys and gals that are on YouTube that are showing off their Stage 2. That are measuring themselves by how much torque and horsepower they have. Can I stay in? Yeah. Don't fall into that trap. When I did the Stage 2, I did give my torque and horsepower numbers because people were going to ask. All I really cared was about the butt dyno, how it felt on the bike. So I didn't really care about that. But don't get into that trap. Don't go get something that you don't need or can't afford or that you're worried about just because a bunch of other people are doing it. Now, most of the folks that watch my channel are grown-ass men and women. They can make decisions for themselves, but just don't fall under that. If you're one of those people that are on the fence and go, well, BoDean has one or this guy has one, I think I should do it. Don't do that. Do it based on what you think. And the most important reason, and why I started this video like it did about being butthurt, is, and I've said this before, I am always concerned with people that upgrade their motorcycle past their skills. Now, you may think you are a fantastic rider, and if you feel that you are competent, in my opinion, you've done some training, you have years under your belt, know that the bike is going to act differently when you put a Stage 2 on it. Know that you are probably going to hit the throttle a little bit more when you have a Stage 2 on it. Know you're going to try to maybe take the corners a little bit quicker, but still safely when you have a Stage 2. You know it. You personally know it in your gut. Is, can I handle extra torque and horsepower and a quicker bike based on my riding skills? It's not for me to decide, a buddy you ride with to decide. You know in your gut if you're really, really ready for that. Make the right decision. For me, and at the end of this video I'll link the 5 reasons you should get a Stage 2. For me, it was absolutely the right decision, and I am super glad I made it. But really think through those 3 or 4 things I just talked about, especially number 5. Make sure you're really ready for it. And if you're not, spend that money on training so you will be ready for it when those other 3 or 4 don't bother you so much. That is it for BoDean 52. Thanks for checking in. Be safe, checking a friend. If you'd like to look at some more of my videos on the Road King and the Road Glide, they'll be right here. Bye-bye, folks.